My name's Alex Brooks from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company as is. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be, and the group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning. My name's Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee. I'm currently an FA observer and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
My name is Chloe Morgan and I'm goalkeeper for Crystal Palace Women.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and am now a senior county referee.
Good morning. My name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Hi, my name's Renee Hector and I play football for Watford FC Women and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional footballer, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Good morning, my name's Peter Giorgio and I am a football and futsal referee.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 10 individual selections.
Thank you very much, Alex. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
So we have three players in shot, although the player who's in black with white sleeves is obviously pointing in completely the wrong direction. So I imagine he's just jumped up to interfere with the player in the front of the shot. I believe he's on his way down. His shirt's billowing a bit, which suggests to me that he's coming down from the top of his jump and a bit of wind has caught his shirt. And the player in the background obviously is lower down, which again shows these two players are in the air and he's looking up at the centre of the ball. And we've got quite a tight cluster of choices between all 10 of us. And firstly, I'll draw some lines up from this player. And the spread is slightly bigger, I would suggest, from this player, where we go through. Andy and Alain's on the right and René's on the left as we're looking at the shot. And again, from this player here, we got 1.5 eyes. We can see his pupil ever so slightly, but this is a clearer eye. And we've got the highest one just through Liam and the lowest through Ari's here. So firstly, I'll take you, Ari. You're down here at the bottom of the cluster. I'll magnify yours here and then put the highlighter over the top. How have you seen the challenge and what's happening?
Well, I felt that player in front of in the picture. He just added the ball to the side. When I was trying to zoom in the eye lines, I felt that he was looking slightly above horizontal. That's why my position is there. And then when I cross-reference with his teammate is looking up slightly to his right as well. That's how I came to my decision.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much, Harry. And I'll sort of go down the right-hand side as you, Andy, here. I'll highlight yours and then magnify it. You're just to the right of this main cluster. How did you see what was happening in the photo and things?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, for me, the guy with the captain's armband, who, as you said, is possibly coming down from his jump, I just felt that he was looking quite fixed, slightly above horizontal, at a sort of reasonable angle. The guy, his colleague in the background, again, he's probably a little bit further back than seems that we believe, but I feel that he's looking slightly up for me, taken from his eye line, he was almost looking straight up. Obviously, from where he is, he's looking at an angle. But from the 2D picture's point of view, for me, he's looking directly up.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. I mean, he is a bit, he's obviously this player in the foreground is very focused, you know, from the photographic point of view, and this player is slightly unfocused. So yes, it's a good point. He's a few yards back. Thank you. And just above you, Andy, is Alain. There's yours magnified. Yep. How did you see the challenge?
Yeah, no, the way I saw it is, I think it's initially it's a ball coming from the side, maybe a cross or a corner, and the player in green, I think, is clearing the ball. And as you can see, and as you mentioned, the player in black is not looking at the ball. So I think it was maybe anticipating a header, and the player in green just jumped in front of him and cleared the ball. So I think the ball has been played. Both of the players are in the air. I think he's kind of deflected the ball, the player in green, and he headed the ball towards his right. And when you look at his eyes, looking slightly on the right hand side, above horizontal. The other player in green, who is on the floor, I took mainly his left eye, which is looking, straight up, I would say. So that's why I ended up with this position.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Alain. Great explanation. Thank you.
Right.
I'll come to you, Rene. You're just on the left here of the cluster. I'm highlighting or magnifying yours here, and you're sort of directly across from this player at the end of the sort of cluster. How did you see the photo and the challenge?
Yeah, to be honest, I think Alan's bang on. I feel the exact same. I feel like it was a corner, and he's clearing it. The only difference is that I probably took more information from his right eye, and I felt like, the player on the floor, I took more information from his right eye, and I just felt that he was looking ever so slightly towards his left. Hence why my cross is a bit further over to the left, but along the same eye line as the player that's jumping.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Rennie. Chloe, you're just next to Rennie here. I'm just magnifying yours here, and I'll put the magnifier over the top of yours. Did you see any difference in this, or?
No, very similar to what Rene and Alain were saying. I think it looks like it's sort of a defensive header away, a clearance, and especially when you've got the player in the black who seems to be sort of looking in the complete opposite direction, as if he's about to maybe try and anticipate the ball, hopefully get in the back of the net, I suppose. But I think I took a similar eye line to other people in that there seems to be the player in the foreground who's headed the ball away, seems to be looking almost sort of diagonally across, but slightly upwards, sort of head tilt, slightly upwards towards the corner of the left-hand side corner of the photo. And again, I took the sort of midpoint head of the player on the ground, looking upwards, but his head is definitely tilted slightly off centre to the left.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I will go back to what Alain said, that obviously he's an ex-professional footballer, and seeing that the player is coming in, it does make absolute sense that he's coming in to head the ball, and a defender or whatever as just change the trajectory of the ball happens all the time in the game. So it's important to know. I think that's good. Okay, just below you, Chloe, is Peter. There you are, magnified Peter, and I'll put the magnifier over the top of you. How did you see the picture?
Yeah, it's just like the rest of my colleagues in regards to the player in the forefront in the green and white. He was favourite for the ball. He's actually got to the ball, and he's headed it on, and his eye line is slightly above horizontal, like everybody else has said so far. But what I've done with the player in the foreground, in the green and white, I've gone in between his two eye lines. So rather than just using the one eye, I've used the two eyes and then split the difference, and that's where I put the centre of the ball.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. That makes infinite sense. I'll come to you next, Hugh. You're just right in the middle of everything here. Again, yours is magnified here, and then I'll put the highlighter over the top. How did you see the challenge in the photo?
Yeah, nothing too dissimilar from what's been said. I think the black player in blacks ended up looking the wrong way because he's jumped for a header and missed it, and the green player for me has played it. I agree about his shirt that's kind of caught the wind, so he's on the way down. So that's why I think it's not that close to them. And then for me, I just think we've said before, but you can't play it with your eyes, you play it with your forehead, so it needs to be that little bit up slightly. So where him and the guy on the ground meet, that was where it was for me, similar to what's been said.
Yeah, great, thank you. And then I'll go, we've got Kieran, you're there, you're magnified, you're just at the sort of the top of this eye line, just for Liam's, who I'll come to next, and I'll just highlight yours. How did you see what had happened?
Yes, thank you, Matt. Yeah, much the same as my colleagues. I think the player in green and white has headed the ball. He's on his way down, as you said. You can see by the billowing shirt. I think that he's as a defender, you would head the ball away and possibly upwards, rather than an attacker would be heading it downwards. And I think also possibly he's looking more a little bit towards the underside of the ball, which is why mine's probably slightly higher than my colleagues. But otherwise, I agree with everything else that's been said.
Yeah, great. And last but not least, Liam, I'll highlight yours. You're just ever so slightly at the top of everybody's. How have you seen what has happened?
Thank you, Matt. Kieran, you stole my lines.
Sorry about
that. I felt again that I looked at the eye line of the skipper, the green and white skipper, and I felt that, you know, with his head's leaning back, his eyes were just looking up that slight bit, and that's why again I deemed it a defensive header away, and that he was going to look to get height on it rather than the ball lower if it was an attacking header. And then regarding the guy on the ground, again in the green and white shirt, I think everybody's sort of, we worked on, you know, the eye lines. But I again agree with Chloe and Renee that I feel he's looking slightly to his right.
Yeah, thank you. And it's interesting to note that we have 5 choices on the left of this calculated average, you're looking at it, 5 on the right, and likewise 5 above and 5 below. So if I put the magnifier over the top of this particular average here, you'll see that Liam's is ever so slightly popping out the top. And if I was to remove Liam, obviously it brings it into a cluster of everybody. And the same if I were to remove Aries, then everybody is encompassed again. So we really have a choice of as a panel, which is the height of this calculated average, is whether we choose it to be slightly lower with Liam's removed, which brings us into this position here, or whether we remove Aries, which brings the calculated averages ever so slightly higher, or in fact, we leave both of them in, which gives us this calculated average with Liam's ever so slightly popping out the top. So it's a bit to think about this morning, everybody. And obviously, as we've done before, we're looking at it as encompassing as a whole, but we're going to take 2 votes, one to proceed without Ari, and then we'll go to Liam's and leave Liam in. And then we also have another vote to remove Liam and leave Ari in, or all 3. So I think I'd like to make it simpler by a vote to leave both Ari and Liam's in. And I will remove myself from that decision. So we have this split vote, please. Okay. So Liam, I'll go to you. Are you happy to leave both yourselves and Ari in?
Oh, okay. I didn't think we was allowed to vote for ourselves.
No, you're not. I'm removing mine. It's to leave you both in. So it's a slightly. It's going to be very difficult to do one for you and then one for Ari, because it does affect each other.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you, Matt. Yeah, I'm going to vote to keep us both in.
Yeah,
I think you nailed it where you said 5 above, 5 below, 5 to the left, 5 to the right.
Yeah,
and I think you've got this morning, even with Ari being a little bit lower and myself just that tad high, you've got a good vote.
Yeah, thank you, Ari.
I would keep ourselves in, because I felt that if it was to remove, we would have to come out, both of us. But because we are still, when you put the zoom in, we are all just a little tied. Lion is just a little bit out, but I think is a very good balance with the 10 crosses, actually.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Chloe?
I would agree to keep both in.
Great. Kieran?
Yes, I'd agree to keep them in. They're all within the cluster. So
Yeah, thank you. Andy?
It is a good balance, but I would take them both out.
Okay, thank you. Renee?
I'd keep them both in.
Okay, thank you. Hugh?
I'd leave both in.
Yeah. Alain?
I would keep them both in.
Thank you. And Peter?
Yeah, with the choice that you've given us, keep them both in.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think it's important, as we've said earlier, and then it's been re-said, that there's 5 above, 5 below, 5 to the right, 5 to the left. And, you know, that I think where it is now with this magnifier over the top, to my mind, is almost the perfect pick, with this, especially with this player who's, I think we all believe, has played the ball across the picture with the player looking up above it. So thank you, everybody. So Alex, after a good discussion, we decided to judge at the calculated average with all 10 of our choices left in.
Very much then. On that basis, please click submit. Thank you very much, judges. The coordinates selected are 1853 1066. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company as it's to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform you. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.